All right, we're now ready to write our trivia game in Python. Now, instead of flipping back and forth between VS Code and Jupyter Notebook, you can actually look at both of them at the same time. So this is one cool feature about VS Code is that you can split up the screen into different portions and then put different things in each area. So if you see this, this is the simplest way to do this. This is a split screen editor. So let's go ahead and click on this. There's multiple ways to split the screen, by the way. You can split it vertically or horizontally. So I've split it. It actually is just duplicated trivia.py in each one. But you can see there is a way to put a Jupyter Notebook in one of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that. I don't want trivia.py in both of them. I will X out of the one over here. I'm going to scroll down until I'm at the creating a trivia game. So now, lo and behold, we can see all these little notes over here that we took, or see all the instructions for the game. So that's really nice. So we can just reference it as we are coding. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go back over here on this side, and now I will code the game. All right. So let's just put a comment over here at the stop. So it's you can say trivia game, 5 questions, 10 points each. That's just a little note to ourselves. If you see this dot here, that means it's not saved. So you can just do Control S or Command S and continue to save it as we go along like that. So the steps are, we're going to start over here. We're going to have a variable called score and assign it to 0. That's pretty easy. We're going to have another variable called missed questions, and it will be assigned to an empty list like that. And let's go to the next line. And then we're going to have a welcome message like this. And we will just create a welcome message, and this will be on multiple lines. So we're going to welcome our user. I'm going to create a triple quote so I can go on multiple lines. I'm going to say, welcome to the trivia game. You can write anything you want. There will be 5 questions, each worth 10 points. You can maybe just say good luck. All right. So that'll be our welcome message. And you can see the triple quote makes it easier to write all that. Okay, let's press enter. And now we're going to create the questions. And sometimes it's good when you kind of break up code. We can just have an empty line over here. And we can say questions and answers. The way I did it was I had each answer under each question. So let's just do Q1, and this will be a string. So, you know, just whatever trivia questions you can think of. I just picked some simple ones. What is the 6th planet from the sun? And just make sure to put a space over there at the end. And that way the answer won't be right next to it. Then you can have answer 1, A1, so that'll be the next variable. And we'll make this lowercase, not uppercase. So we don't want to have the user have to guess like what case we are using. We're just going to turn all of the user's answers into lowercase and then check against lowercase. So that's a little bit more fair. I'll put a space between the questions and answers like this. I think I put like what does the Roman numeral L represent? And so this is a numeric answer, but it still needs to be a string. So L is the number 50. And question 3, which city hosted the 2008 Summer Olympics? I think that was one of the questions. And then we'll have answer 3. That was Beijing. It needs to be lowercase. For question 4, I put something like, do penguins live in the North or South Pole. Put a space over there. So question 4, South. Question 5, what is the first element of the periodic table? And of course, you can have fun with these questions. You can just put, you can have whatever you want. You can have more than 5. It doesn't matter. This is hydrogen. Okay, so now we have our 5 questions and 5 answers, and this should be A4. Excuse me, let me save that. So I'll just choose this Q1, A1, Q2, A2, Q3, A3, Q4, A4, Q4. Okay, good. Now, if we run this right now, nothing will happen. There is no output. Not nothing will happen. All this code will get run, but there is no print statement. So if I say Python trivia.py, it will look like nothing happened. It did actually go and run through all this code. There's just no output. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to gameplay. Print out the question number. So actually I should say print out the welcome message, is what I should have said. So we're going to print out the welcome message, and then we're going to print out question, we'll say question number 1. And now will be a good time to save this and to run Python trivia.py. And we can say, all right, welcome to the trivia game. There will be 5 questions, each worth 10 points. Good luck. Question number 1. So maybe we want to put a new line over here, so it's separated from the welcome message. And then we can test it again. Make sure you save it. If you don't save it, it will not. It'll show the old version, I think. It's good to save it regardless. So here we go. We added a new line over there. So this is what I'm talking about with the testing. You write a little bit of code, and then you run it and test and see if it works. Now there's more formal ways of testing code, but for now we're just going to be writing a little bit of code and then manually testing it. Okay, so here is the part that is new. We're going to get the answer. Actually, I gave you the code over here. Input Q1 like this. Okay, so, and then let's just print out the answer as a test. So I'll save that. And now, so at this point, the code will pause. And I should put a comment in here. I'll just say start game. So it's good to have comments over here. This is where we're actually starting the game. Now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to execute this. So it says, what is the 6th planet from the sun? Now it doesn't matter what I put here. Let me just put a real answer. Saturn, I'll just put the correct answer. I'm just printing it back out to the screen. So you can see it waited for me, and that space over there was important, so it separated the question from the answer. And then we just printed it back out to the screen. All right, so now what we need to do is lowercase the answer and use if then to test if it is correct. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this print statement. I'm going to say if ants.lower. So I'm going to lower it using the lower string method. So hopefully you remember that. That's how you can lowercase a string. So ants is a string and it has the string method lower. And let me just go back and show you that. Ants dot. If I just press dot. So notice here is the tab completion, the autocomplete that I'm talking about. These are all of these string methods. And when you start pressing, it will automatically narrow down, and you can just press tab or enter and it will complete it for you. This is just a method that doesn't take any arguments. So if this equals A1, so that is the official answer over here. So if this is correct, we have to write our condition over here. So we just covered conditional statements. I'm going to press enter. It will automatically indent, so I'm in a code block. And the score, I want to say plus equals 10. So it'll increase by 10. And then we can print out some message over here and say, congratulations. That is correct. Something like this. Your score is score. And it's a little hard to, let's move this over here a little bit so we can have a little bit more screen real estate. And I'll move that over here like this. Okay, good. So this needs to be an F string. And otherwise, I'm going to end the if block and I'll say else. So if they get the question wrong, I'm going to say, unfortunately, that is incorrect. Okay, so I'm going to save this. And now I'm going to test it. So I have this if-else block. And now I'm going to run this. And let's just say I put in Saturn. Congratulations, that is correct. Your score is 10. I just thought of something. So that I got that. That looks like it's correct. And that ends the program. I'm going to say, I'm going to put the score out again. Your score is still score. Okay, and this will be an F statement. All right, now let's run it again. And let's just put a wrong answer. If I say Earth, unfortunately that is incorrect. Your score is still 0. Okay, good. So I looked at both branches and they look like they are working. Now we're going to do this for the remaining 4 questions. I'm actually, since it repeats, I'm going to copy and paste everything over here and just change everything to 2. So question 2, everything will be the same over here. Give me a little bit more space so it all fits. And 3. And hopefully this is showing you that we could have been doing this using a loop. If we knew about looping, we'll cover that later. So looping, you wouldn't have to write all of this over again. This is sort of like a manual way of repetition. Looping saves us from doing repetition. In programming, there's lots of repetition in there and lots of looping. Okay. So, all right. So I did all 5. Hopefully I did it correctly. I just changed everything to 222, 333, 444, 555, and I pressed save. And now I've got a 65 line program. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the entire game now. Okay, welcome to Trivia Game. What is the 6th planet from the sun? So let's get that. Saturn. What does the Roman numeral L represent? Let's say we get this wrong and say it's 10. That's wrong. Our score is still 10. What city hosted the 2018 games? Beijing. That's correct. South for penguins. Hydrogen for that. So okay, good. I got 40 points. I got 1 wrong. So now the end of the game. So let's go ahead and use a comment and just say end of game. And at the end of the game, we're gonna have one more if-else statement. If all questions answered correctly, print out 1 message. Otherwise, print out a list of missed questions. So we say if the score is 50, that means I got everything right. Then we'll print out a score or say congratulations. You got all questions correct. Otherwise, we will say print you missed questions, and I'm going to put the missed questions over here. So you can actually, we have not covered this, but you can put a list in an F string, so you can interpolate or just substitute in a list, and it'll just print out the list of all the missed questions. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. So that's basically the game right there. And let's go ahead and run this one more time. So I'm going to do python trivia.py and press enter. And let's go ahead and just quickly type in some answers. So Saturn, let's just get some wrong. Say 30. I just got the Olympics wrong. We'll get this one right. South, and then that one wrong. Oh, so I see I have a bug in my program. It says, unfortunately, that is incorrect. Your score is still 20. You missed questions. I don't have a list over here. I forgot to actually put the questions in that list. So what I need to do is I did not append, so missed questions, and here it is right there. So I can just press tab or enter. It'll autocomplete. If I press dot, and there is the append method, and now I'm going to put the question number that I missed, or if they missed. So all we're going to do is append this to our list. So here's our list. You have to know about the append method. And now I'm just going to copy, which I already did, and paste this over here in each one. So again, it's a little tedious, it's repetitive. And I'm just changing the question number to be that question. All right, good. So now, I had some issues with my code. I had forgot to append the question that was missed. So the person would not know which question they missed, or I guess they could still tell, but just as a summary. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. So let's get this right. Saturn. I'll get this one right finally. Let's just do wrong for that. That'll be correct, and I'll get this one wrong. Okay, so now it says, unfortunately, that is incorrect. So that was for question 5. It says, you missed questions 3, 5. Maybe we want to put a new line over here like this so that it separates the end of the game and from the last question. So let's run this one more time. And this time we'll just get everything right. So that's Saturn, that's 50, that's Beijing, South, and hydrogen. And it says, congratulations, you got all questions correct. All right, so let's look at our code one more time and review it. So we have some comments over here that begin with the hash character. We have variables that we set up in the beginning, our score, the missed questions, the welcome message. Then we come up with our database of questions and answers like this, making sure we put a space at the end of the question, making sure our answer is lowercase. Then we start the game. We print out the welcome message. We print out the question number. Then we collect the input and we say to print out, the question that we are asking. We get an answer. We then do an if else to check whether it's correct. So we check whether we lowercase the user answer. That's important. So whatever the user gives us, it doesn't matter if it's uppercase. And let's just go ahead and show that. So if I do Saturn like this with mostly uppercase, it doesn't matter. It's still going to count it correct. All right. We lowercase it and check it against the answer in our database. So there's A1, right? If it's correct, we'll increase the score by 10, and then we will print it out over here and say congratulations. If it's incorrect, we will append the missed question number to our list and then print out a message over here saying unfortunately it's incorrect, and then the score what it is still. So then we just repeat that for all the other 4 questions like that. So all that code looks the exact same, except for Q5, A5, the question number. And then at the end of the game, if the score is 50, that means it's a perfect score, we will write a congratulations. Otherwise, we'll tell the user which questions they missed. Okay, so that is our complete program, our trivia.py. And so you now have a fully functioning little game. You can add as many questions as you would like over here and just continue the game going further. We will see in the future how to make this so that we can repeat the questions without having to type them out like this over and over again using loops. All right, so congrats on finishing your first Python game.